In today's rebuild, we are talking about Moneyball, and no, we are not talking about the Hollywood movie with Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill, but it is the concept that movie is based upon. It was initially introduced in baseball, where the analytical side of people were taking a look at what made players good, and not about what they could just see with their eyes, what they could see with their statistics, diving into what actually made a player good and highlighting value that others may have missed, being able to get good caliber players for very cheap value. And that is what we are coupling in today with our rebuild. Today we are rebuilding FC Nordsjælland, who were one-time champions of the Danish Super League in 2012, and we are going to be trying to moneyball our way back up to the top of Danish football to see what we can get on with. But we need a skin to do that, and if you take a look at the game right now, you can see this is the Musterman skin. It is the attribute list, it is the Moneyball skin, and it looks very, very different to the normal Football Manager skin. Obviously, now you can see we do have all the attributes here, but they have no numbers. We have no real idea of how good they are. You can kind of make a difference out of their circle size. So you can see Mo Diamande here, one of the better players at Nordsjaelland, actually is very bad at marking, positioning and tackling. He's okay in terms of his aggression and his long shots, his bravery, his finishing, his composure is all relatively decent, but you can see he has no real standout in this particular instance, and you can kind of understand why. He's a central midfielder, a central attacking midfielder or a winger, but this is the main bit of the skin. Here you can kind of see his amount of dribbles he's attempted, his progressive passes per 90 minutes, his passes completed, possessions lost. You can see all of this stuff, shots, expected goals, all the data hub stuff, all on individual players rolled into their actual profile page, which is going to be really, really good. I'm looking forward to using this. It's actually going to make signing players very, very interesting. And to do this, not to handicap ourselves too much, we need a good tactic, and we are going to be running the GYR Master of Puppets. Yes, the 4-3-3. I wanted to keep it relatively basic in terms of the structure. I didn't want to be trying to, play around with the tactic as well as trying to find these hidden gem players. But this is what we are going to be doing. This is how we are going to be running. Some of the players you may have heard of in this team, and Adamo Nagalo, he is in my Wonder Kid list. He is very, very good as well. Christensen as a defense midfielder, Jakob Christensen, he is very good. As you can see, he is very brave, he is very aggressive. Again, just reminding you guys what the skin is all about. And then Mo Diamande is probably the star player of this team in my opinion, in terms of promise and stuff like that. He's only 20 years of age, he's 5'9", he's a tricky little player, and hopefully I'm seeing high amounts of dribbles and high amounts of progressive passes from Mo Diamande. He is going to be this unlocking player on the left hand side, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. If we take a look at the club super quick and I go into the history, you can see there is that one Danish Super League which they won in 2012. It's been a bit ropey ever since, and they finished actually in 9th last season. It is our job to correct that and take them back to the top of Danish football. They also are two-time winners of the cup as well in 2010, 2011, then they got that league in 2012. So we need to add some more stuff to the Right to Dream Park trophy cabinet, and actually I do have to say massive shout out to this skin, the manufacturer of this skin or any of the creators of this skin. Please do go and check it out. I will leave a link to it down in the description if you wanted to do a Moneyball save of your own. If we take a look at the league and the cup, so we are predicted to finish in the quarterfinals of the cup, and we are predicted to finish in the championship group of the league, which if we take a look at the season preview, we are predicted to finish in 4th. Actually, we are 20-1 to win the title. FC Copenhagen are the overwhelming favourites. We've got Michelin, we've also got Brøndby as well in here to contain with, and AGF as well. I believe they won the title several times as well, right? Yeah, 5 times for them as well, most of them historic. But if we have a look at some of the past winners, can I click on this? No, past winners, there we go. You can kind of see it's actually a little bit of a mixed bag. FC Copenhagen are definitely the best team, but it is up for grabs, this title. I feel we could get our hands on it within the 5 years, but with a Moneyball style, let's see what we can do in season number 1. So on the screen right now is how we got on in season number 1. We were actually runners up in the division. FC Copenhagen were the better team. They did beat us by 13 points ultimately in that championship group. As you can see here, we keep our number of points. We just split the league in half. We were in that championship group and we were ultimately knocked out in the third round of the cup. I don't know what it is with me at the moment with cups in these rebuilds. I just cannot win one. I cannot progress in one. It's actually really bothering me. Let me know down in the comments if it's happening to you as well. But let's take a look. Now we're at the end of the season at what some of our skins look like. As you can see here, Benjamin Nyangren was our top goal scorer in the league and in the cup. He was our top goal scorer this season. As you can see, all of his attributes and how he's gone this season are all across the screen. You can see 34 appearances for us, 3,015 minutes, 20 goals, 4 assists, 2 yellow cards, no reds, and an average rating of 7.05. You can see he's not actually attempting a huge amount of dribbles or progressive passes, but he has lost possession a lot. At the end of the day, he is a striker. That is more likely to happen. But you can see his non-penalty XG is 0.68. So 0.68 for non-penalties per 90 minutes. So that's a goal every other game almost, or just a little bit more. It's better than a goal every other game. So he's doing very, very well for us. As I said, he was our top goal scorer, 21 years of age, under 21 international for Sweden as well. So he looks like a very good player to have in our team. As I said, he was our top goal scorer as well. If we have a look at the home screen, you can kind of see Mads Hansen was another good player for us. Looking very good for him, 0.5 goals per 90 minutes as well. So from him, a very good performance, and a little bit more in terms of the dribbles and progressive passes, because if we go into his development and we have a look at his tactic, he played on the right wing. So you can kind of see here what we are looking to do. He's done really, really well. So ultimately, I think we've done pretty well in this first season. We were 20-1 to win the title, so I didn't actually think we would be able to. Now we get into the fun thing, though. We've got £10.7 million to spend. This club is actually superbly well run from what I've seen. Our wage budget's not the best. We're not in the most attractive league. I'm sorry, Danish fans. But we are going to try and see what we can do Moneyball style to improve this team for season number 2. Okay guys, so before we get into the transfer update, I do have one quick caveat, which is it's very difficult to track the data on these players once you move from season to season. So you will see a lot of our business has been done really, really quickly. That is because once you tick over from season to season, all of that data is lost. It's not in the data hub. It's not stored on their profile anymore. And that is actually not a bad thing for this skin. It's part of the game, the amount of data and the processing power that your game would need to handle all of that data, plus every bit of data that it already handles. The game would move so bloody slowly, but it is one of those things. This isn't necessarily the game that the way the game is supposed to be played. But if we take a look at Mark Brink, for instance, he's one of our new players. He's going to come into play in central midfield for us, 25 years of age. Nice little player as well. But as you can see here, we can't see any of his attributes or how he's been getting on, in the game. The only thing that's tracked here is his performance season on season. So you can see he had 22 appearances in the league last season, got himself 3 assists and averaged a 6.77. Annoyingly, that is the only real things I can show you right now, but believe me, we are looking for good players in this particular model. We also signed Hakon Arne Haraldsson from actually Copenhagen. He's an Icelandic international, 20 years of age, can play in the central attacking midfield, either wing or in the central midfield, which is very, very good for our 4-3-3 that we are running here. Jakuba Minter comes in as another player on that right-hand side. He has actually got 2 caps and 1 goal for the Gambia, so massive shout out to him as well. These are the types of players we're looking at picking up. He comes in for 1.5 mil. James Gomez comes in as well, another central defender, again for the Gambia. 12 caps and 1 goal. 12 goals and 1 cap. That would be amazing for a centre-back. He's 6'2". And if we go onto his profile, you can kind of see some of the stuff. I don't care if he can't shoot. I don't care if he's got bad finishing and long shots and flair. He's a centre-back. That's exactly what I need him to do. He's okay in the areas that I need him to be. I want him to win a lot in the air. That's going to be the main goal for him. And then we signed him for £3.5 million. And Aske Aldegaard is another player who comes in for us. Obviously, this is the part of the business that we've done really, really early, and all of this is just loans. Then the season ticked over and we lost all the data anyway, and we've lost a couple of our players as well. If we take a look and arrange them by fee, Mario Dorgels is a player who's gone over to Juve for £5 million, and you can look at him and you think, yeah, you're okay. Young Ghanaian under 20 international. He's only 18 years of age, but he's probably not going to play an awful lot for us. So when Juve offered me £5 million, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao. It's just not going to happen. Martin Ferrez also goes over to Italy. He goes over to Venezia, the left back or left wing back, 25 years of age, but didn't really play for us in abundance last season. 19 appearances, 16 of those were all substitute appearances. So ultimately not a first team starter for us. So 825k, we need to sell a player when there is some value there. And I felt like that was a good price point to send him over to Serie B. And the last player we brought in is Tim Prica. He is a striker, 21 years of age for us. Hoping he can kind of push on. He's under 21 international for Sweden. Looks pretty good as well. Very well rounded in what I need him to be good at. Hoping statistically that plays out on the field as well. If we go into the competitions tab, actually no, first of all, let's go into the tactics screen and quick pick without restriction our best 11, so you can now see how the team is shaping up in our 4-3-3. This is the GYR Master of Puppets. We've got that flat back four. Christensen still there, Nagalo still there, Diamande alongside Brink now in that central midfield, and we got Prica coming in as that striker. So I feel like we've got really good options because it's now pushed our top goal scorer from last season into a different position. So we've now got real power up front. We are a real threat. I'm hoping we can kind of push that into the competitions. Obviously, we do qualify, or did qualify last season via the league for the Europa Conference League. We do have to qualify for that one, of course. We go into the third qualifying round, so we're going to have to see how we get on there. We are not yet drawn against the team. In terms of the cup competition, the board wants us to make the quarterfinal again. Please, just let me just get past any good round and get to the quarterfinals. And the board wants us to finish in the top 3 places in the league. And if we go into the season preview, you can see we are 8-1 to win the title in season number 2. Copenhagen still the favourites, but they still do have Rooney Abaji as well, who is a very good player. Hoping he disappears to the Premier League very soon. Let's see how we get on in season number 2. Okay guys, so this is the competition screen for season number 2. Danish champions, Moneyball is here, baby. Now I will say, Copenhagen massively fell off. We improved, but I didn't think we were going to be good enough to win the title. They absolutely harpooned themselves off a cliff. I will show you that in just a second. We got knocked out in the semi-finals though of the cup this time around. We lost in the semi-finals to Copenhagen in that semi-final 5-1 on aggregate, so there is still a bit of a gap there, and you can still see on their day they are a very good team. We did get into that league path, the third qualifying round, where annoyingly we took on Ghent. Now we could have taken on anybody in here who would have been a lot worse, but annoyingly, it's generating the match report, but we did lose to Ghent, which is rather disappointing. And there is the match report. As you can see, we lost 2-1 on aggregate. Tim Prica with the goal for us, but we were disappointing in that one to lose 2-1 on aggregate to the team from Belgium. But Belgium are above us in the coefficient, so it's not the end of the world, but a disappointing performance in continental competition. Now let's talk about this league title. Now, if we go and take a look at the stages and we go into the championship group, we won the league on 75 points. It's actually the same amount that Copenhagen won it on last season, 75 points, but they finished on 75 last year. This year they finished on 63, so they absolutely nosedive off a cliff, and we managed to pick up only the second title in this club's history, which I am very happy with, and we did go all the way, which is fantastic to see. Tim Prica did come in. Obviously we brought him in to be a good goal scorer for us, and he was a very good goal scorer for us, averaging almost a goal a game, 0.85 goals a game, as you can see here, 30 goals, 38 appearances, just that one as a substitute, and you can see he's actually got some archetypes here. He is a maestro, a free spirit who will drop deep or wide into pockets of space, and he's also a fox in the box, and he's also got a full first cap for Sweden as well, so massive shout out to him. Yes, okay, he loses possession a lot, I don't care, he almost scores a goal a game. Strikers who score a goal a game are almost invaluable. Also highest average rating for him. Mads Hansen is our, again, highest number of assists. Obviously expected assist 0.39 expected assists per 90 minutes, which is fantastic. 0.29 goals as well expected per 90 minutes. He's doing really well here. High number of possession one, actually. He's actually done pretty well there, but he does lose the ball deep decent amount. Again, he's a winger. It's his job to kind of be progressive and have dribbles and stuff like that. He's actually done very, very well. He's actually goal scored a lot more than I thought he was going to do. 7 goals and 10 assists. 33 appearances from the wing. I'm quite happy with him. He's done very, very well. In terms of the title, it's been very, very interesting to say the least. It means, I believe it means, we are going into the Champions League next season. So we're going to have to see what that brings, because we have almost another £10 million to pay. As you can see, we have no debt as a club. I did say this club was run very, very well. We've got 33 million in the overall balance. Let's see what we can bring in for season number 3. Okay, guys, so it is transfer update for season number 3. And as I said, we did have to get a lot of the business done early doors before all of that data disappears. So you can see the players on the left-hand side of the screen here. These are the ones that we brought in. I've highlighted them just to make it just that little bit easier. Nico Mantle comes in as a new goalkeeper for us, 24 years of age. Comes in from RB Salzburg. He looks like a good little player. Thomas Christensen comes in from AGF. Again, looks like a very good player for us defensively. 6'6", this monster, 22 years of age. Played a decent amount last season, if I believe. Yeah, 27 games in the league, averaged a 7, just the 1 goal, but he is a centre back, so I'm not going to go too hard on him. And then we have Jakob Gnali Dinierez is how I'm going to butcher this new gen's name. He comes in 17 years of age. Again, looking for this talent early doors. 175k, that could pay off. It could be a gamble, who knows. We also signed Adam Daghim from AGF as well. He looks like a nice little player, can play on both wing sides. Only 18 years of age, so again, another young option for this team. We're aiming to buy young. We've got Jakob Johansson coming in on loan as well. He looks like another interesting player, a natural in both these fullback positions. Only 16 years of age, though. Looking like an interesting prospect. Again, loan fee, 215k. Just have a proper look. And we also signed this guy as well for 78k. Again, we're trying to spend cheap, identify issues. He comes in as a goalkeeper for us, but looks like a good little player for us nonetheless. Okay, so that was some of the transfers in. As you can see, some of the transfers out. We've got 11.5 million pounds over here. The main outgoing was Leo Walter. He departed to Bayer Leverkusen. If we take a look here, you can see they paid 5.5 million pounds for him. Again, not a player who actually played any minutes for us at all, really, other than in a season that wasn't me. So 5.5 million pounds to him. Another one, ciao, bye. You are gonzo. And then you can see some of the players that have gone here. Mark Brinker's gone for money. Andreas Hansen's gone for money over to Udinese. Again, you can kind of see here we've sold our goalkeeper, so needed to bring in some new ones. And then you can see some odds and sods going for smaller fees on there. But 3.9 million pounds, the finances at the club are looking pretty healthy. We've still got around 6 million to spend and about 50k in our wage budget. We're not going to try and deviate too much. We're not going to try and bankrupt this club. We're just going to try and keep them ticking over, doing really good things. And obviously now we are in the Champions League, but we do enter in the Champions playoff. We do have to qualify properly. The board want us to. They want us to reach the league phase as a minimum. They want us to reach the semi-finals of the cup as a minimum, and they want us to finish in the top 3 places of the league, which if we look at the season preview, we are still the 3rd favourites to get the job done. Diamande has made it into the media dream 11. Go on, Mo. But everybody else has not. Cornelius is still here. Andreas Cornelius is still absolutely punting in the goals at Copenhagen since he's arrived. 19 in his first season, 9 in the second season. He's still quite good. But can we retain the title? That's the main thing. I want to retain the title. I want to see what we can do in the Champions League to represent Denmark in season number 3. So season 3 is done and dusted, and on your screen you can see now how we have got on. We have retained that title. We've put an absolutely massive gap in between ourselves and the team in second. Copenhagen do come into second, and they do qualify for the Europa League next season. We obviously win the league and qualify again for the Champions League because we beat them by 20 points and 23 goal difference. Yes, that is domination in Denmark. We also were runners-up in the cup. We did lose on penalties, as you can see here, to Copenhagen. It is generating the match report here, as you can see. Tim Preker kind of trying to drag us back in with the 90th minute equaliser, but ultimately we lose on penalties. I'm sad. Copenhagen have won it for another year in a row. pain. Pain. We did get into the league phase of the Champions League though, but then after that, there's not really much to talk about. If we have a look here, you can see we beat Dinamo Zagreb to get qualified. We beat them 3-0 in Denmark before losing 1-0 away in Croatia. Then in the Champions League phase, we beat Nice, lost to Monaco, lost to Galatasaray, lost to Dortmund, beat Barcelona. Yes, beat Barcelona, and then lost to Shakhtar, Liverpool, and Inter Milan without scoring. But we beat Barca, so unlucky Logan Paul and KSI with your prime sponsorship. So ultimately, we've done really, really well here. If we go and take a look, Tim Prika, top goal scorer for us again, absolutely smashing it. His attribute graph, or data graph, should I say, looks fantastic. I'm really, really happy with him. 25 goals and 6 assists in his appearances. As you can see, he's now wanted by a whole host of clubs here in the top right-hand corner. Burnley, Norwich, Sheffield United, Bordeaux, Hanover, Getafe, Levante, Eibar, Verona. It's going to be interesting to see what we can do with him. But yeah, you can see here in terms of some of his stats, he played 2 games out on the right, but he's done really, really well up front. Looking forward to seeing what he can bring in a potential future season, or he's valued at 2.5 to 5.2 million pounds. Maybe we sell our best player. Who knows? Benjamin Nygren, who was our top goal scorer in that first season, actually got our most assists this time around. He is a true natural in a lot of positions, as you can see. Played a lot in central midfield for us and has done really, really well. 3 goals, 11 assists. He's doing well in terms of his progressive passes and his dribbles. He's doing really, really well here. Almost 5 progressive passes a game, which is really, really nice. High pass completion percentage as well, around that 84%. He's doing really, really well for us, and I'm really liking seeing players in a different way, in a different caliber. Looking at this skin, I think is really, really nice and clean, and ultimately will make me a better player at the game, I guess. If we take a look moving forward into the next season, we have 50 million in our overall balance. We have a transfer budget of 11.2 million pounds, and our wage budget basically doubled at this point, or almost double. We've almost got about 200k to add in here. Obviously that Champions League money is mega. You can see where it hits. It's actually really taking us to the next level of what was an already very well thought out, healthy club. So let's go into season number 4 to see what we can do in the transfer market yet again. So guys, it finally happened. We did lose one of our best players. Yes, Mo Diamande is now a West Ham United player. Yes, I'm devastated. As you can see, he's looking much better than he was at the start of the game. Higher dribbling technique is looking really good in terms of his ball control. His technique was fantastic there. Off the ball he's just very, very good, guys. He's just very good. And he's gone to West Ham. 15 million pounds to West Ham for our star player. I told you the Premier League would come calling. Mo Diamande is now a hammer. Fair play to him. He is the biggest transfer outgoing that we've had on this screen. Andreas Hansen is another one who we did touch on. He's gone to Udinese, but that was last season. So we've been busy in trying to bring people in. Mustafa Atia comes in from Heart of the Oak. Again, the Ghanaian young player, 18 years of age, capped at the under-20 level. There's no real point in me showing you much of his profile because you can't see much on it. Brought in another player from Copenhagen, Armin Chai. Yeah. You guys know you're not here for the pronunciations, right? Diomanzi Neves comes in as another new gen to play on this right hand side. As you can kind of see, guys, we are pillaging lots of these clubs. Obviously this team here is where we picked him up from, and it's the way to do it. You go and find the Malian League One teams, do you know what I mean, and you pick them up and you pick in some of their best players. Elias Rostad comes in from Copenhagen as well for 2.9 million pounds. Again, 18-year-old defender. I guess we're the big club in the country now, obviously representing the country in the Champions League. Simao comes in from, I'm not even going to say this, for 1.5 million pounds. Could rise to 1.6 million pounds. Again, picking up some of these new gens. You can kind of see here a Brazilian new gen doing the business in Denmark. Who wouldn't want to be here? He's come out of a team that I've never heard of, actually. It's a different Grêmio in Brazil. But looks like a good player. I'm quite happy with picking him up as a player. Anders Borset comes in from Molde for 4.9 million pounds. This is our big signing, guys. Again, you can kind of see we're going quite heavy in terms of some of these defenders. Hasn't really played an abundance, and he is ready to come in from Molde from Norway to see what we can do with him. He was playing really, really well in 2025, which is when we picked him up. And the last player, Benjamin Apoku, comes in again, another club where we've kind of tried to pillage some of this young African talent. Obviously, this club coming out of Ghana, and 19.25k for him. And then another James Gomez, he's gone to Schalke for 800k. So the balancing of the books, we are just taking things to the next level. The money for Diamande again, it's not really work that we've done and that I'm claiming, because Diamande is already a player at Nordsjaelland, but obviously now we push on into the competitions tab. We are expected to reach the semi-finals of the cup, be competitive in the Champions League. We do get into that third qualifying round again. It's very difficult to qualify for the Champions League. The board just want us to be competitive. I at least want to make that league phase again, and they want us to finish inside the top 3 places in the league. Despite winning the last 2 seasons, Copenhagen are still predicted to win the league. Alfonso Areola is now here. We've got more players in the Media Dream 11 now as well, which is really, really nice to see. Hakon Arne Haraldsson has now made it in, as well as Ernest Newman, and then obviously we've got Big Timmy Pricker as the main goal scoring threat for the boys, and we finally got some bodies in there, which is really, really nice to see. If we take a look at the quick pick of our Media Dream 11, this is how, our best 11, this is how we're looking right now. Obviously, we still got Jakob Christensen. He's the best man there in the team. He's been here all the while. Olivier Antman, again, another player who was out on loan in that first season, but has been a relative stalwart for the rest of the season. He now needs to step up and be that midfield general that we need. This front 3, I'm really happy with this front 3. Hansen, Prika, Newma, I'm really, really happy with them, and I'm hoping they can kind of absolutely run roughshod on the rest of the league and hopefully fire us into that Champions League phase, because we all know that is where the money is. Let's get season 4 done and dusted and see how we get on. So guys, season 4 was very good, and it was our best season so far. Not only have we gone back to back in the league, as you kind of would expect by being the team in the European competitions, we're just getting so much more money than everybody else. We did go all the way to the round of 16 in the Europa League. Now, I will show you what that looks like in just a second. You can kind of see here, we lost actually in the qualifying, the Champions Path playoff to Slavia Prague. They were the team that did go into the Champions League. We then got knocked down into the Europa League, and I will talk about that run in just a second. We got to the semi-finals of the Cup. I cannot win a bloody Cup competition to save my life. Got to the semi-finals of the Cup, which is absolutely devastating. Let's talk Europa League. Let's talk Europa League, shall we? If we have a look at the Europa League here, you can kind of see we entered in that league phase. We beat Strasbourg, we beat Tel Aviv, lost to Rennes, lost to Olympiacos, beat FCSB to get through. That would have probably seen us qualify at that point. We beat Osasuna, lost to Napoli, drew with Young Boys, and then we beat Lech Poznan comfortably, 6-2 on aggregate, 3-0 away, 3-2 at home, and then, yeah, United are quite good, aren't they? We lost 3-2 at home, which is disappointing. But Alejandro Garnacho went off and scored 5 against us at Old Trafford. Alejandro Garnacho is a phenomenal player this year. If you've not tried him out since the winter update, he is very good. High flair, as you kind of would expect. Nice pace and acceleration. He's very good. He scored 5. He scored 5 goals. I can't get over it. I cannot get over it. I do have to talk about some transfers though, because we had a major outgoing, and it's another player departing to West Ham. Tim Prika departed us in January. He did leave the club. As you can see here, £6.5 million here. We only bought him for 5.75, so not actually turned a huge profit on him, but his contract was coming to an end. Time to get him gone, and we did replace him with this guy, Lars Nielsen. Again, another new gen. He is a centre-back. I say replace. We repurposed that fund to bring in another defender, and he looks absolutely exciting. exceptional. Over almost 11 headers winning a game. Nice amount of pressures attempted. Good amount of possession won as well. Really, really nice to see. Needs to tighten up and work on things a little bit, but he looks like a very good player. Nice high aggression, as you can see. High determination, fitness, stamina, work rate. All of this good stuff. Looks like a very good player. He came in, we spent £9.25 million on him from Michelin, but we have lost our main striker, which is going to be our main port of call in the transfer window this time around. Obviously, we are very, very good in our league. We are comfortable at the top. We need to do better in Europe. Getting to the round of 16 in the Europa League is exceptional for a team from Denmark. If we have a look at the round of 16, you can kind of see the caliber of other nations here. Rangers representing Scotland, Trabzonspor representing Turkey, and we've got Olympiacos representing Greece. Everyone else is in a top 5 league, as you would expect. Oh, sorry, I missed Anderlecht from Belgium there. Oh, Copenhagen. Oh, Copenhagen got through. Oh, stuff it. We've been doing really badly. We need to do better. Copenhagen, where did they get to, out of curiosity? Did they get pumped in the quarters? Oh, they got annihilated by United as well. I wonder if Garnacho scored 5 in that game. I'm not over it. Five is a lot. 5 is a lot for one player. We've got £7.8 million to spend and a decent wedge of our budget in terms of our wage budget. Let's go see what we can do for this 5th and final season. Okay, guys, so before we get into this 5th and final season, this is the point of the video where I ask, if you are still watching, to comment something down below, and it's the theme of today's video. I just want to see the word Moneyball down below to let me know that you are still here going into season number 5 of this Nordsjaelland rebuild. And speaking of, we needed to rebuild. We needed to bring in some bodies, and we've definitely gone and done that. On the left-hand side of your screen are all the players highlighted that we have brought in. Diabate from ASEC Mimosas in the Ivory Coast. They are a good stomping ground for me. Years ago, I got a fantastic little goalkeeper from there. He comes into the team, a young forward. He is 19 years of age, 16 caps and 9 goals for the under-20s for the Côte d'Ivoire. So he's doing very, very well there. Emanika David comes in from Portland too for £2 million. Again, young player, new gen, forward, 20 years of age, 6'4", Nigerian international. You can kind of see what we're doing here. There's a little bit of an African theme. Odds have allowed us to pick up this guy as well, another striker. 8 caps and 6 goals for the Norway national team. I don't know if you guys know, there's another Norwegian who plays up front for the Norway national team. Don't know if you've heard of him. We've also picked up this guy from the Sundowns as well, another new gen centre back. Again, youth internationals, man. That's where we're doing youth internationals for African nations for the most part. Has been our transfer policy. Another one here, another one coming in. 8 under-21 caps for Norway, looking fantastic. 19 years of age. He is slightly on the short side at 5'10", but we will push on. Dimitri Popescu, another one, left back, can also play right back. Look at this little assortment of positions that he can play in. If I can keep this on the screen, Natural at left back, can play right back, can play left wing back, can play centre mid, can play out on the left wing if he has to. Again, another good little player, comes in for £3 million. Oscar Johansson, comes in from Malmo for £1.7 million. Again, another new gen, ladies and gents. Who'd have thought? He's got 2 caps for Sweden, age 19, 6'2". Again, another kind of player that you need to sit up and take a look at. And Thomas Rasmussen comes in as well, another new gen, another fullback, another defender. The team's looking pretty good. I'm quite happy with the team. I feel like we've got the right balance right now of good youth players and ability to kind of really do damage. This is the team as things stand, guys. We've got that 4-3-3 looking pretty strong here. Christensen holding it down from the beginning. The first guy in, the first guy out. The guy's an absolute monster. Ultimately, I think we're looking really, really good. Why have we got a filter on here, ladies and gents? Well, let's just reset that. There we go. Now we can kind of see everybody. So this is how the team's looking. I'm feeling confident with the boys. Lars Nilsson looking like a good player. Borset is wanted again. Another player who's wanted in that position. Again, wanted by the Bundesliga, wanted by Gladbach. Numa is also wanted as well, but we're going to try and hold on for as many people as we possibly can going into this final season. Obviously, 5th and final season. The board want us to finish in the top 3 of the league. They want us to be competitive in the Champions League. I want to qualify for the Champions League in this 5th and final season. I don't care about the cup. I don't care. I'm going to say I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Let's see how season 5 goes. So guys, season 5 is done and dusted, and it was our best points return ever in the league. We have really asserted ourselves back at the top of Danish football. We are no longer that one season wonder. We've won it the last 4 seasons in a row. The Master of Puppets is a ludicrous tactic. I will leave a link to it down below for you guys to go and check out. Plus 56 in terms of the goal difference as well. Only 4 losses throughout the whole course of the season. Absolutely smoked everybody's jaw, as you can kind of see. 26 victories out of the 32 games. Absolutely smashed it. Told you, we don't care about the cup. We do not care about the cup. Let's have a look at the Champions League so that you guys can kind of see how we did get on in terms of some of our league phase matches. We beat HJK to get ourselves qualified into that Champions playoff, where we took on Rangers actually from Scotland, beat them 3-1 away at Ibrox, and we beat them 3-1 away, beat them 3-1 at home as well. Disappointing league campaign, but some of the teams that we come up against, Wolfsburg and Rennes, Manchester City only lost 1-0 to Man City as well. Porto with a 2-2, 4-0 victory against Bruges at home. We drew with Nice, then we lost to Dortmund, lost to Leipzig. The difference between ourselves and some of these other teams is absolutely drastic, guys. So I think we've done really, really well. We've kept the club really profitable, and that was always the main thing. We've got a nice overall balance of £41 million, £14.2 million if you did want to take over this save yourself, which if you did want to do, it is linked in my Discord. Links to that will be down below. And if you do like the rebuild content, guys, check out this playlist. It's all the rebuilds that we've done on FM23.